In dreams, Pisces finds a world of her own, a world where time slows down, where the noise of the world fades into silence, and the heart can speak in its native language feeling. Pisces, you were born under the last sign of the Zodiac, a place where all the wisdom wounds and wonder of the human experience gather. And maybe that's why your heart feels like it holds lifetimes, lifetimes of emotion, of dreams, of longings that don't quite have names. You feel everything, not just your own pain, but the pain of others, not just your own joy, but the quiet hopes that others dare not speak. It's as if your soul has no borders, as if your heart has opened every window to the world and invited it in without a filter. There's something sacred about the way you love. You don't just fall in love with a person, you fall in love with their voice, when they're nervous with the way they look, when they think no one's watching. You notice the softest things, the way someone's hands tremble when they speak of something they love, the pause in their voice when they speak of their past. You see it all and still choose to love. But Pisces, that open heart, it has cost you, hasn't it? You've cried in secret places carrying grief that didn't belong only to you. You've held space for others to break down even when you yourself were on the verge of collapse. And sometimes you vanish into your room, into music, into the pages of a journal no one else will read. Not because you're healing, but because you're protecting something tender inside you. The world can be harsh, fast, loud, demanding, and you, dear Pisces, are soft. Not weak, never that, but soft in the way rivers carve valleys, gentle but powerful beyond measure. Do you remember the first time someone told you that you were too sensitive, as if that was something to be ashamed of, as if feeling deeply was a flaw to be fixed? You might have believed them for a while, tried to toughen up, to close your heart a little, but it never worked, did it? Because that's not who you are. You were never meant to be cold. You were never meant to harden. You were meant to be a harbor, a lighthouse, a moonlit tide that reminds others how to feel again. Pisces, when you love, you give everything, not because you want something in return, but because that's just how you're made. You give even when you're empty. You forgive even when it hurts. You wait. You hope. You believe. And yes, sometimes you dream of things that never come. You imagine conversations that never happen. You fall for the potential of someone, not because you're naive, but because you see who they could become if only they were loved enough. And when it all falls apart, you don't rage, you don't demand, you simply retreat quietly, like the tide slipping back into the sea. But inside you're breaking. So tonight, let's sit with that pain. Let's not rush to fix it. Let's not silence it with noise. Just sit with it. Breathe with it. Close your eyes. Picture yourself standing in a forest at dusk. The trees are tall and quiet. The air cool on your skin. There's a small stream nearby, and it sings a lullaby only you can hear. That stream is your soul, wounded, yes, but still flowing, still alive. Ask yourself, what have I been carrying that is no longer mine to hold? What have I been grieving that needs a voice? Let yourself answer not with logic, but with honesty. Maybe it's an old love you never got to say goodbye to. Maybe it's a dream you gave up on because someone told you it was too much. Maybe it's the version of you that once believed in forever. It's okay. You can lay them down now, right here by the river of your heart. They've served their time. Pisces, your healing isn't about forgetting. It's not about becoming someone new. It's about returning to yourself again and again until you remember you were never broken. You are the ocean, and even when the surface is stormy beneath the waves, there is still peace. Let's go deeper now, back to the child you once were, the one who believed in magic, the one who talked to the moon, who wrote letters to the stars and fell asleep whispering wishes into the dark. That child is still here, still waiting to be believed in, still aching to be held. So hold her. Tell her she's safe now, that she doesn't have to earn love, that her softness isn't something to apologize for. Pisces, you don't have to heal in a straight line. You don't have to explain why some days feel heavier than others. Healing is a dance, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And even when you're not moving, your soul is still growing. Have you noticed how you've begun to protect your peace more? How you no longer chase people who don't see your worth? That's growth. That's healing. You're learning to give without losing yourself, to love without abandoning your boundaries. You're learning that your heart is sacred and not everyone gets to hold it. So tonight, Pisces, light a candle, sit in silence, and say to yourself, I am allowed to be soft. I am allowed to be seen. I am allowed to want more than survival. I am allowed to want joy. And when the tears come, let them. They're not a sign of weakness. They're salt water cleansing your soul. You don't have to have us all the answers. You just have to stay open, to feel, to dream, to keep showing up even when it hurts. Because that's what you do best, Pisces. You are the poet in a world that rushes past beauty. You are the dreamer in a world that worships logic. You are the healer who forgets she too needs healing. So here's a reminder. You are not too much. You are not too soft. You are not too late. You are exactly who you were meant to be, a soul with oceans inside and a heart that still believes in the light. And that, dear Pisces, is more than enough.